So, they make a pact to hang on to the money for a while. If anything happens, Hank will burn it. Things fall apart right away, as I've already gone into. Like the sheriff spots him on the way out. When they go put some of the money back, uh, Hank kills somebody. Now, the redneck buddy, Lou, I looked it up, give me some points. Lou doesn't know that they went to put some of the money back. He's not in on that, but guess who lets him in? His best friend, Jacob, Hank's brother. Now, I'm sorry I'm using the characters' names, because if you haven't seen the movie, it'll be a little bit confusing, so I'll do it one more time. Hank, the main character, is Bill Paxton, and Billy Bob Thornton is his brother. Now, Jacob, his brother, is closer with his friend than he is with his brother. So, like I said, the dynamic that sets up in the beginning immediately starts to pay off. That's what makes a simple plan great, because it has a really tight, thriller plot, but it's based on characters. It's based on real characters, three-dimensional characters that you like Bill Paxton. He's a good main character, like I said, straight guy that you put yourself in his shoes. And Jacob, his brother, Billy Bob, is just very sympathetic. You feel for him, and there's scenes that are heartbreaking with him. It makes sense that he was nominated for an Oscar. In particular, one scene when they're sitting in the pickup truck together, and Billy Bob's talking about what he wants to do, and he talks about how he's never been with a girl. He'd like to be with a girl. And his brother's like, "What are you talking about? There's that one girl that liked you back when in school or whatever, like in grade school, 20 years ago, 30 years ago." And Billy Bob's like, "Yeah, I liked her, but the only reason she hung out with me is because like her friend's better to do it. It was like a prank or something." It's just like that's so heartbreaking, man. I don't know. Heart goes out to him, and that's the thing. Like it's all based on the characters. So what does the back of the box say? What did I say at the beginning of this? Um, and their perfect plan is lethal in its miscalculation of the human heart. These are human people that all have their own dreams. So like when they find that money, there's different things that they want to do with it, and some of them can't wait. Hank's wanting to hang on to it, and be all safe, but he accidentally kills somebody to keep it. And this is the guy that said, "Oh, we're gonna take it into authorities." He kills somebody to keep it. He compromises himself worse than the other characters right away. And this is remember, this is the main character, the character whose shoes you're in. His brother Jacob, the agreement is they're going to hang on to it for 6 months and part their separate ways, get the hell out of the country. Jacob decides, no, when I get my money, when Hank, my brother, gives me my money, I'm going to buy my dad's farm back and build it back up. Like he's going to stay where he lives now and live on a farm and build the farm up, even though he doesn't know shit about farming. Hank's like, no, you can't do that. Jacob goes, you could tell Jacob's basically suicidal. That's the only thing that will keep him on this planet is going back to his dad's farm or staying where his roots are because that's all he has. And of course, Jacob's buddy, redneck buddy Lou, needs money right away because he's got bills to pay. It's the right way you have think about it. Hank screwed up, murdered somebody. Jacob is a screw up that wants to stay there, and his buddy is a even worse screw up who has bills to pay. They all agreed to not to tell their wives. Hank told his wife. Redneck Lou told his wife, and Billy Bob doesn't have a wife. Billy Bob tells his buddy everything, and Billy Bob tells his buddy about the murder. You put the pieces together, think about it. Redneck Lou tries to blackmail Hank to get the money early because he's got his bills to pay. Things just keep going worse from there. Murders start to happen. There's a very, very big scene with Hank, Lou, and Jacob, the brother, where they all go out to drink together, and it's a set up plan by Hank to get Lou on tape confessing to the murder. The way they're gonna get Lou to confess to the murder is to get him to imitate Hank, because they know that how much Lou likes to make fun of Hank. I mean, such a brilliant plot turn there. I mean, if you're following this now, like say you're just watching this and you're letting me spoil it for you. I hope you're following it because think about what a brilliant plot turn that is. If you've already seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's plot developed out of the characters. It's a completely unique plot, and it's because of the characters. Like they're going out to get this guy on tape, get him drunk, and get him to confess to the murder. And after they get him on tape, they get him drunk. They bring him back to his house, his own house. They're drinking in his house while his wife's upstairs sleeping. They get him to imitate Hank killing the local guy in the snowmobile. After they're done, they tell him, they're like, hey, we got you on tape now, so you know what? You're not getting any of the money early. You try to do anything, we got you on tape confessing the murder. And Redneck was like, I was just imitating you. Hank, the square, the guy that whose shoes you're in. I'm gonna keep saying this. He shows his cunningness. He says, "Who are you gonna, if you're the sheriff, who are you gonna believe? You're gonna believe Hank, the upstanding citizen who has a college degree and works at a, feed mill, or are you gonna believe Lou who can't hold a job and doesn't know dick?" And this blows up into the first really violent confrontation of the movie. Big explosion of violence in the movie where guns get pulled and people die. So you guys know there's already spoilers here. Lou and his wife get killed. It's Jacob that ends up pulling the trigger, and for the rest of the movie, they know that their time of happiness is over, and now it's just like trying to get away with it, cover it up, this and that. And just such a realistic way for it all to fall apart. That's also exciting. That's plot driven. Not plot driven, but plot heavy and character driven. That's the key. That's what makes it great.